China used to be known for just being the place you would go to if you needed cheap knockoff sneakers or replicas. But today, they're not just faking shoes, they're replacing them. One of the biggest shifts in the footwear space is happening right now. And honestly, it could change everything in the next few years. Chinese footwear brands have been slowly breaking into the Western world. And they're doing this by not just offering cheap stuff, but apparently extremely competitive products, which according to the internet are not just as good as the Western equivalents, but better and for a fraction of the cost. So I decided I had to find out what is actually going on and if any of this is actually true. You see, the reality of the footwear market is that Western sneakers don't really exist. 99% of shoes sold are made in Asia. Now, of course, you do have the rare exceptions like New Balance with their Made in the USA line, same thing for the UK. But for you to really understand how the market is shifting, we do need to separate Western brands making their products in China versus Chinese brands. You see, all of this kind of started in the copycat era. Brands like Nike and Adidas do most of their manufacturing in Asia. So for places like China, it was very easy for them to start replicating those products that they were already making in their own backyard. Now, obviously, China knocking off products has been going on for decades. But in recent years, buying fake products from China has become extremely popular. It's become a whole lot more socially acceptable, which for a lot of people used to be the main barrier. If you buy a knockoff product and then get ridiculed for it,
the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
that would stop a lot of people. Nowadays, there's a plethora of different reasons that people would give to why they go and choose a fake sneaker over an authentic one. One of the most common reasons that people will normally reference when they justify why they're buying a fake shoe is because of the prices of the Western counterparts. People say that they just simply cannot afford the shoes from Nike or Adidas. And honestly, the price gap has only gotten crazier in recent years. Not only is there the whole tariff situation going on where a lot of these brands are just having to raise their prices, but it also almost seems like a lot of these brands are just shamelessly raising prices and looking to sell extremely expensive shoes. Adidas just released a running shoe for $1,000. A lot of Nike's running shoe line are $200 plus. And while brands like Nike and Adidas are raising prices of their products, a lot of people have been complaining about the quality of them at the same time. So with the prices increasing, the quality decreasing, this has led a lot of people to try new brands. People who were loyal or stuck to buying Nike or Adidas are now a lot more open to buying from newer, different brands, all in search for better value. And of course, China was perfectly positioned to fill that gap. So I went out and bought 3 of the most popular shoes from Chinese brands to find out how these stack up against their Western competitors. Probably one of the most popular options right now, and the one that's been making waves online, is called the Li-Ning Red Hare 9. Now, Li-Ning is a brand you've probably heard of before. They're one of the largest sportswear brands in China. This is just one of their latest running shoe models that has a lot of tech in it. This is called the Dynafish Xiaonian. Potentially not the best pronunciation, but this one has been getting some pretty incredible reviews from runners. It's insanely light and a very interesting pair. And then we've got the 361 degrees Earth 2 Plus. Huge stack of soft foam and a very comfortable option. So to give you an idea of how these stack up against each other, of course, we've got to do a good old blindfold test. Round 1, we're going to be doing this shoe versus this shoe. I'm going to put text on the screen so you know, but he obviously does not know which shoe is going to be on which foot. And I mean Dylan. Welcome to the show once again. Slip your foot into these. That's the stuff. All right.
You sure these are not the same shoe? What?
It's good that they're relatively similar.
You've never given me 2 different shoes that felt more the same.
I'll get this up to speed so you can really feel them out as you're walking.
Damn, Buzz. You want to invest in a better treadmill? This one's a little clanky.
It's kind of giving out. We've been putting it through so much work. So what you're going to be looking for is which one feels more comfortable and if there's any clear differentiation between quality. I know it's hard to tell on foot, but does one feel significantly cheaper than the other or vice versa? Let's start with comfort.
Okay.
If there's which one feels more comfortable, and then we'll go to the next category.
In complete honesty, they feel exactly the same. Neither one is more comfortable than the other. They're exactly the same.
All right, and then do you think anything stands out in terms of one feels more quality than the other one?
they're both incredibly light. Okay, well, the one thing that I will say is I like that on my left foot, this one here, there's a little bit of arch support. It's so similar. I think just because of maybe the arch support on the left, I'm gonna go for that.
Wow, okay. Left it is. All right, we're up to speed. Let's hear your initial thoughts.
Okay, the stack and the foam on the right definitely feels a little bit more responsive. One on the left, however, is more comfortable.
You would take left.
I'll take left.
For comfort and just what you would spend your money on.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we are up to speed. You are strolling along. What are your thoughts on these two?
Okay, left foot really comfy. The sole, very soft. Really soft, in fact.
Okay.
Right foot is a bit of a strange one. I mean, it's comfortable. The stack on the foot is great, but the heel portion is very strange.
And so if you could pick only one.
Left again.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, this one's easy.
Now, for the past few weeks, I've been running, testing, and getting as many steps in these Chinese shoes as possible. And I've got a nice little split segment over here. We've got the Chinese shoes on my right and the Western counterparts on my left. It's Nike and Adidas shoes. Now, you could argue that there is better comparisons. These are just the closest I have personally. The Dynafish Xiaonians are very, very lightweight and do remind me a lot of the Evo SL. This is definitely a much thicker stack of foam and is a little bit softer as well, but they both have that very lightweight, breathable, airy feel when you're running in them. Now, the 361 degrees over here, this one I would say feels a little bit closer to the Nimbus line from Asics in terms of the style of cushioning that this one has. However, for its max cushion, max comfort effect, I thought the Hyper Boost would be a pretty accurate comparison. I will say that these feel a little bit more responsive on foot. This one seems a little bit more dialed towards comfort. It's a little bit heavier. It's a little bit less responsive, more of a plush feel underfoot. But overall, very impressed with these from a specifically comfort standpoint. Then we got the Li-Nings over here. This is a very, very interesting pair of shoes. You've kind of got three different types of foam in here. Something a little bit more akin to a Boost-like styrofoam feeling foam right at the bottom layer. It's a little bit more stability focused. In the middle is just an ultra soft feeling material, and then also another layer on the top. It's almost kind of, I guess, visually speaking, reminds me, the shape and everything like that reminds me of the Pegasus Premium. However, for its max stack, max cushion effect, I think the Vomero Plus is a great little comparison. Some people have also compared these to the Vomero Premium in terms of like a Western equivalent to this pair of shoes. But regardless, the point here is that these are all very, very good pairs of shoes, and I think incredible value for money. On average, you're looking at about 40 to 50% less in terms of the price of these compared to these. The issue with exact pricing on these shoes is that it varies so much depending on where you get them and which country you're located in and shipping them into. For example, I bought these off of AliExpress. Taobao sells them a little bit cheaper, where you can find them for about $100, which compared to the $200 Vomero Plus, that's insane. I would argue that runners prefer this pair of shoes over these. It's lighter, it has a little bit more of a responsive feel. I guess it really just depends on the person, but there's a lot of pros to this pair of shoes. So again, I'm not really going to get into the weeds of where to get these shoes from because it's a little bit more complex. Generally speaking, there's 3 or 4 different places where I have found these. First one being Taobao, very hard to order from, but it is the cheapest. Next would be AliExpress, that is probably second to Taobao. And then you can also find these on Amazon and Shein, depending on your location. Now, just to kind of save time, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to recommend some other content creators who have made specific videos on how to get these, where's the best place to go. I'll link them down in the description because they make some incredible content on Chinese shoes specifically. But again, the main takeaway from my testing with all of these shoes is that they are incredible value for money and pretty insane for the price. The craziest part about all of this isn't just the fact that there's a few price-conscious shoppers that are choosing to find better value with Chinese products. It is a huge full-on shift in the market that is really hurting brands like Adidas and Nike. Nike China revenue is down 16.3%. Adidas dropped from the second largest to the fourth largest sportswear brand in China. Anta overtook Nike in China revenue in 2022 and has held that lead since. And they're not just outperforming on data and statistics, they're actually also taking over. Anta is a way bigger brand than most people in the West actually realize. Their most recent deal is when they acquired a 29% stake in Puma and are now the largest shareholder. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Anta also owns Arc'teryx, Salomon, Wolfskin, Fila, and Jack Wolfskin. Most people have no idea that a Chinese brand owns all of these companies. They're just out buying their $600 Arc'teryx jacket. And all of these numbers and different things don't just show like Nike and Adidas losing their grip on the Western world, but they also show how they're struggling specifically in China, which is the largest market for most companies. Now, granted, part of these Western brands' struggle in China is actually down to something completely separate from shoes. Back in 2021, Nike and H&M refused to use cotton from a specific region in China. Chinese consumers quickly found out and basically overnight stopped buying from these Western brands and decided to shop from local ones. And a lot of these consumers that previously bought into these brands just never went back. It was actually part of an entire movement in China called Guochao, roughly translates to national wave. And it is just one reason that these Chinese brands have been growing so fast. Now, one tactic that I think is very interesting that doesn't actually have anything to do with these shoes, Adidas specifically loves to employ this tactic, and that is essentially making an entirely new experience for Chinese consumers to shop products. So here we have two Chinese exclusive sneakers. If you've ever been out to an Adidas store in China, it looks very, very different. Most of the products that you see in the store are stuff that you have never seen before if you come from the West. During my trip to China, I stocked up on a lot of these exclusives because I think they're super cool. Like this one is one of my favorites. It's called the Adidas XLG Runner. And again, it's exclusively only out in Asia or China specifically. I've spoken about these things so many times on the channel. I've got like 4 different colorways now, and I just love the look of them. They're also super comfortable, but yeah, these are sick. And then this one over here, also an incredibly cool pair of shoes. It's one of my latest pickups from Adidas in China. It's called the Evo SL72. So essentially they put an Evo SL midsole, and then on top you've got an SL72 upper. So you've got that like traditional classic Adidas look. On top of that super aggressive running shoe look with the midsole. Now they did also change the foam. This is now called Light Strike Plus. A little bit different to the Light Strike Pro that you find in the regular Evo SL. It's just a little bit more tailored towards lifestyle wear. Still extremely soft and comfortable underfoot, but just a little bit different. And then even aside from sneakers in general, because there's plenty of different examples of China exclusive sneakers, but you guys remember the Chinese jacket trend, which is kind of still a thing to this day. Those jackets went absolutely viral online, so much so that Adidas had to start offering those in different countries, not just China. But all of these really show that Adidas is trying to offer exclusive products to really try and target and win back that Chinese market. Now, Chinese brands entering the Western world and completely taking over doesn't just extend to sportswear brands like Adidas and stuff like that, and like Nike. The entire fashion industry is also being taken over. This is another pair of shoes that I've been testing for the past few weeks, and it's extremely interesting. This is a pair of shoes from a Chinese brand called Pain. Now, the design of this should look pretty similar to something that you've seen. It comes from the Margiela Gats, or at least that's the pair of shoes that kind of popularized this silhouette. That's a $600 pair of designer shoes. Now, obviously the Margielas almost started a trend. They became super popular, and it started a lot of other brands to just do affordable alternatives. And there is countless brands that offer affordable alternatives to that model. But this one particularly stands out. It is the highest quality affordable alternative I have ever seen. It is made from full grain Napa leather, exactly the same as the Margiela Gats. The leather is incredibly soft and almost molds to your foot, and it does kind of feel like a designer pair of shoes. And even aside from the materials in the leather, you also have some added extras which I haven't seen from any other affordable alternative. This insole is incredibly squishy and comfortable. They really did add some additional padding to this. Strobo board is made of cork, the same stuff that you find in the Birkenstocks. And again, this is just one example. There is so many different examples of not even just footwear, but fashion in general. And a lot of people who have tried some of these products are really surprised by the quality that these Chinese brands are offering. And again, all at a fraction of the price. These are $180 versus, again, the over $600 pair of Margielas. And knowing that and seeing that price difference, it's pretty easy to see why people are moving away from the expensive Western brands to something like this. So what does all of this mean? Is China just gonna swallow up the entire sneaker industry? Honestly, maybe. If Western brands don't start paying attention to people's frustrations at the moment, because right now it seems like people truly believe that the message from brands like Nike and Adidas is raise the prices and cut the quality and just hope that nobody notices. People have definitely noticed, and they have more options than ever. More options than they had even 5 years ago. But hey, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Would really be interested in hearing your opinion on this entire thing. And like always, I'm gonna leave another video in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.